Hello you, it's MyYard here, and welcome to some WWE 2K22 Hitless, the media briefing. Oh, there's all media alert. Oh, scary. There was about 50 seconds of brand new gameplay footage for WWE 2K22 in this 1 minute and 40ish trailer. That's about half of the trailer, which is decent compared to what we've been succumbed to in the previous year. And a bunch of good stuff and bad stuff, and we'll go through all of it bit by bit because I have some grievances and I have some positive thoughts of this little sneaky peek. We will see more in January before the game comes out in March 2022. So let's go through the media briefing and discuss each little bit. That it promises sensational new additions, including Redesigned Gameplay Engine. The most important change in WWE 2K22 is in the engine itself. Visual Concepts redesigned the gameplay and animation engine from the ground up to make every dive, kickout and finisher feel as real as if players were sitting at ringside at WrestleMania. As soon as players pick up the controller, they'll feel the difference. Okay, which stems on to the second bit, which is about new controls. The updated and how incredibly intuitive controls game hits different this year. Configured to ensure that players have more control over every move in every situation, WWE 2K22 is easy to pick up and play while still allowing for high skill expressive, which leads me to this handy little graphic between WWE 2K20 and 2K22. So on the bottom left of your screen, you'll see WWE 2K20's control scheme, and currently on the top right corner, you see WWE 2K22's control scheme for using a Xbox controller. Now, things can change, obviously, with a new game. They could change the control scheme completely, but for the most part, there hasn't been a huge change in stuff. The reversal is still the Y button. X is still used for a strike. Grapple button has changed from being an A button to a B button, which was the Irish whip button in 2K22. The main thing is the finishers. Instead of using X and A and B and Y for OMG stuff and that nature, instead you have to use the right trigger plus one of the corresponding face buttons to activate either finisher, a signature, a payback, or a submission. Now, finishers and signature would then need to use a alternate button as well for the running mechanic, plus if you have two finishers on the same thing, which means an additional button probably with the left analog stick, which is a lot of buttons to perform a certain animation. I wouldn't say that's easy to pick up and play if you were using someone like Roman Reigns to activate their big maneuver, but that's just me. Wake up taunts, moving is all in the same position, changing target is in the same thing, pin is now down, running, picking up objects, all the same. So it hasn't really been updated that much. The key thing we're noticing is this dodge and climb button, which I'm assuming has some implication with reversals. There's also the Y button for reversing, but holding the Y button to block, which we've not seen in a game before. How that will work, we don't know. There's also 5 different types of control schemes because we're at basic, so there's obviously advanced stuff for weapons, cage matches, etc, tag teams. There'll be multiple things. We do not know if control scheme can be changed or modified at this present mode in time, but if you compare the two, I think 2K19 at the minute is easier, but if they've been adding new animations and new styles of controls for different positions, then the control scheme would have to be changed completely. But I would not say at the moment that is easier to pick up and play. Having 2 buttons for strikes when you could have just held the X button like they did before seems odd in my opinion, but we'll see how it progresses as time goes on. We don't know though where the Irish whip button is going to be, because that one used to be the B button and now it's grapple button. Maybe just a simple tap of the B button causes an Irish whip and it's move and B to actually do grapples. I would expect more grapples to be allowed rather than strikes, but it's so early days. We are basing it on one little screenshot. There could be multiple grapple positions, like in Here Comes the Pain. The strike attacks could be designed to again combo into something. It is said on the control screen that there is combos and moves and other things, so who knows what could come out of it from this particular thing. It is way too early to tell. We are speculating and nothing more. So if there's anything else you see that seems to be different, please let me know in the comment section below. We're going to go to the next bit, which is, according to them, the stunning graphics. 2K have said, simply put, WWE 2K22 boasts the best ever graphics of the WWE 2K franchise. Scan engine and animations are executed using the same industry-leading process as visual concepts. NBA 2K franchise, and the team overhauled lighting and relit the game from the ground up. Now, certainly with some characters like Roman looks great in the facial. So does Goldberg. Goldberg looks phenomenal. I can understand why they put him in the trailer twice, because he does look absolutely stunning. I'm still a little bit dubious on the hair at the minute. You can see in certainly Drew's hair when he does the sword into the entrance at the very end of the video, that his hair is going into the back of his shoulders and stuff, which is not fantastic. There is a lot of superstars that appeared in the trailer as well. His Seth here, look at Seth's hair, again, doesn't look fantastic, if I have to be said, but early build potentially. Kaylee Ray, Raquel Gonzalez and Shayna Baszler there. Again, the head doesn't look fantastic on that bit, so I'm dubious. Facial scanning looks to be good on most of the people, but the hair is letting it down at the moment, in my honest opinion. Certainly better than 2K20's style, that has to be said. Immersive presentation, the most dynamic entry in a series to date, will take place out of the crowd and into the ring, creating an authentic WWE feeling throughout the game. So, them changing the camera angle to be more closer to the ring sort of removes the simulation aspect of it and making it more like a video game, because the camera angles for Raw and SmackDown and stuff, they're not that close to the ring. The alternate angles when certain moves happen, yes, of course, you know, the done cameras going flicking back and forth, but there's focusing more on the video game aspect, which for a lot of people is probably better to have closer in, almost like a spectator mode. Almost, it's better to have it close in and then have the far away shots when there's more people around and everything. That I don't have an issue with, but until we get our hands on it to see how it feels when we play it, we'll have to wait and see. New WWE 2K Showcase. Players can walk down memory lane and relive a legendary WWE superstar's most iconic matches and moments. Well, the footage from this trailer pretty much mean it's Rey Mysterio without confirming it's Rey Mysterio, because it's Rey Mysterio talking, much like how Daniel Bryan talked in his showcase. So let's assume it's Rey Mysterio doing the showcase mode. Until they officially confirm it, maybe there's a chance it isn't, but let's go with the 95 to 99% accurate. It's probably Rey Mysterio at the very least on it. One of the big ones, though, is MyGM. Players will draft superstars, book matches, manage contracts, and prove that they have what it takes to run the most successful brand in sports entertainment. Yes, we didn't get to see much of it. It's mostly because GM mode is mostly screenshots. You only get to see a few little bits and pieces. But here's something I did notice. Drafting seems to be in the game, because here's round 1, pick 1, and you choose Roman Reigns. Shows you a cost and how much popularity you have and other little bits and pieces, and depending on what class, if they're good guy or bad guy, which is obviously what you want to know, if who's good and who's bad. Obviously Becky Lynch is now a heel, so I mean, it's already wrong, isn't it? I'm sure they'll be able to change that, or you can change how, if you want someone to be face or heel as well, I'm sure. We can see from the SmackDown event, by the looks of things, there's only 3 matches at the minute. An opener, a mid-card, and main event. Whether we can change how many matches we can have a show, we don't know. There's 2 promos there, and there's cost depending on what the match type is. TLC costing $5,000, a promo costing $1,000, and the main event, if it's normal, still only costs $0. But obviously you probably wouldn't get as many star ratings, just like the old GM modes in the past. If it's going to be anything like that, it might not be anything like that, but the similarities and the layout design looks pretty good for the moment. This final screen grab, we can see how many fans you can have, where you are, how much budget, how much the show's going to cost, and just show a breakdown of the stats between different people. There's also a thing called power cards, I wonder what they could be. There's also a journal probably to tell you the historic nature of what you can do. It's all looking promising, and the layout again looks absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful layout to start with. Maybe the best thing so far on the trailer. The next thing is about MyFaction. In a franchise first, the all-new MyFaction puts players in control of building a legendary faction that rivals the iconic NWO. Players will collect, manage, and upgrade superstars with weekly events and regular updates. Now, from what was said by 2K when they did the chat with all the press and stuff and us creators early on, we were told that this is a single player event, and this will use microtransactions if you want for MyFaction. It's the only mode is what they said, and basically it'll unlock cosmetic. It will not affect the gameplay in any way. Now, until we see what it is, I'm surprised that if the virtual currency and VC gets used for this mode, that it's the only mode, actually. I was expecting to have skins and stuff for the online as well. So if it's just on a single player event, okay. I feel like from a business position, that probably isn't the wisest idea. I would have focused on the online market and having it for certain attires and stuff. But that's just my opinion on that situation. But other than that, we don't really know much about it until we see more in January, hopefully. MyRise is being renamed from My Career by the looks of things. An opportunity for players to experience the journey of WWE superstar from the humble beginnings of a rookie, followed by the fanfare as a superstar and then immortalized as a legend. New storylines will be available for both male and female My players. And okay, I think MyRise is an atrocious name, gotta be said. It could have just still been called My Career, because it is My Career. And calling them My Players and stuff, it's just there's no need for the name change in my opinion. Universe mode returns, offering players more control than ever before over brands, pay-per-views, match results, rivalries, and much more. And we didn't really get to see that much in the trailer, other than a look kind of like what MyGM had. And the creation suite is back and better than ever. Players can be themselves or something entirely different, with all sorts of wild options and fantasy elements. Then step into the ring at any time and anywhere in the world. Again, the trailer only really showed some created superstars quickly made with the menu layouts and stuff. Nothing to feast our eyes on, to be brutally honest. But that's the thing with Universal Creation Suite. It's so big and cumbersome. If they have done loads of increases stuff, it will be its own separate video, or creators will need to do a lot on it to show off all the new stuff. It's just one of those things. What was said in the briefing as well, which is not on the media alert, was there is 30,000 animations and there is 5,000 new animations been included in WWE 2K22. So I'd imagine a lot of these animations will be relating to the new control scheme and their new redesigned gameplay engine. By looking at the gameplay footage, and I will do a further breakdown focusing purely on the gameplay elements, the animations of the Bulldog and the Strikes and the Dominator and even that Jackhammer, they all look like existing animations to my clear eye. I will confirm or disprove it in the next video. Don't get me wrong, if I've also disproved it before then, I will put in the comment section below that I have made a mistake. But they look very similar, and like we've said before, old animations aren't a bad thing, because a lot of the animations in 2K games are good animations, good move animations. They do not need to be edited or changed, but you're saying it hits different, and when you say it hits different, you need to back that up with animations. Now, the dodging animation that Big E does is a new animation, because when you've had dodges before in 2K19 and 20, they dodge and normally do a strike back at you. This is just a dodge, and it goes into a sort of block position that looks completely new and different. But every single gameplay element has just been little cutscenes. This is what 2K Battlegrounds did, where they showed off the move animations but didn't show off the gameplay. So we've got no idea on this redesigned gameplay engine how it's going to work. We just have assumptions, such as this thing I noticed in the bottom left hand corner. The counter bar doesn't seem to exist now, at least into a not to what it was. These three bars do not seem to represent counters, because when Bobby Lashley does this Dominator, all three of those little white bars disappear. That would not orchestrate a counter unless there is a brand new system where signatures remove your counters or something of that nature. But it looks like all superstars, at least in this trailer, it was the same for the Big E small bit of gameplay, they had three bars as well. And I would have thought, for counter purposes, some of them would have had 4 if that was the case. So maybe the counter system has been removed and it's unlimited counters in the game. This ×1 bar, I don't know. It could be anything. Again, it could be a momentum booster to help you get to a signature, to a finisher. That's a possibility as well. In the dark, because it was just a small snippet of information. It could be time based on the finishers. I hope not, because we always want to have stored finishers. To be in all honesty, I think having a timing finisher is garbage. We don't want to go back into the dark ages with that. Because the finisher didn't pop up because they cut it too early. This is obviously, I'm assuming, still a signature for Bobby Lashley, and I reckon that ×1 would change into a red, and the bar has to go up to be able to get into another signature or another finisher. That we would assume when damage was dealt, the bottom bar did increase a little bit. But what the 3 other little bars do is anyone's question. Is it stamina related? I don't know. Too many questions, not answers. We wait till January. As simple as that. But that does imply that they have been changing the system to accommodate what they want to try and achieve. Whether it's going to be successful or not, who knows on it. There is a lot of superstars that got lovely and spoiled and added into the roster. There's Kevin Owens, there's Chad Gable, Montez Ford, Big E, Kaylee Ray, Raquel Gonzalez, Shayna Baszler, Seth Rollins, Mustafa Ali, your own creative superstars from the MyRise mode. There is also some t-shirts for people like Nia Jax. Whether Nia Jax will still be in the game come March, we don't know. There's loads of other t-shirts, but we'll make a separate video with all of the roster on a spreadsheet. At some point we'll even do a stream of that as well, just make sure we get the full list all lined up, because it's not far away. No. Out of all these 10 things that got included in this little preview, the redesigned gameplay engine, which we don't know really anything about, new controls, stunning graphics, immersive presentation, showcase, MyGM, MyFaction, MyRise, Universal Creation Suite, what was your favourite thing spoiled? I want to hear it in the comment section below. Don't forget to leave a like, and if I've missed something out, please let me know in the comment section below. I have been ITSMYYARD, your still king of WWE games, and I'll see you very, very soon for more WWE gaming goodness. See you later.